we all know Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore is a part of not just the YouTube world, not just of the TYT, but he's a part of a coalition of folks who speak truth to power. What they're trying to do is they're trying to smear Jimmy Dore. Okay, they want to smear him. Dave Weigel, who I will refer to for the rest of this video as Dave Weasel, he wrote a hit piece about anyone covering the Seth Rich case, pretty much. And in that hit piece, he went at Jimmy Dore. He said that Jimmy Dore was, grasping at this conspiracy theory and horrible. It was basically a smear on Jimmy Dore. And the worst thing about it was, at the time, I think Jimmy Dore had already said, well, he kind of went the way with the Rod Wheeler, like, Rod Wheeler, I don't know about this guy. And it was sort of like put him back in neutral territory. Well, here's the thing. Dave Weasel of the Washington Post, he works for it's not even, I won't even call Washington Post a news agency anymore. And I'm from D.C. I grew up getting the Washington Post. When I was a kid, my parents got the Washington Post. When I work places, I work with people who worked at the Washington Post. I've known editors at the Washington Post who are friends of mine. That was news back then. What they're doing now is basically parroting for the CIA. Basically, they are the propaganda wing of the CIA. Now, let me tell you why I say that. That's a hard statement to make. You got to have a reason for saying it. Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, who brought Washington Post, we know that, right? Okay. He recently secured a $600 million contract from the CIA. That's at least twice what Bezos paid for the Post. So he just got a contract from the CIA, let's break it down, a contract from the CIA for twice the amount that the Washington Post is worth. Think about that. Let that sit in there for a minute. Let that, because that's significant. What could the CIA want from Jeff, who runs Amazon? What could they want from him? Why would they, what do you give somebody that much? Why? What? They want to ship something? Is that what they're trying to do? They want to sell CIA t-shirts? What does the CIA have to do with Jeff Bezos? It's not the Amazon. It's not Amazon. It's the Washington Post. All right? So let's keep it real here, okay? Bezos recently disclosed that the company's web services business is building a private cloud for the CIA to use for its data needs. Okay. Is it crazy to think that when you have been given $600 million, a contract from the CIA, that you may go a little light on stories that make the CIA look bad? I know it sounds crazy, right? Do we have to even ask that question? I'm just saying. Look, if someone gives me $600 million, my name is Tim Black, but I'm going to tell you something, and you know I love you guys. But if I got $600 million from someone, I've been compromised. I would just come out and say, look, guys, I got $600 million. I'm going to give H.A. Goodman $100 million to set him up because, I got $600 million. That would be keeping it real. You can't get that type of money from someone and it not have an influence on what you do. I don't care who the hell you are. So how does this relate to Jimmy Dore? How does it relate to Dave Weasel of the Washington Post? This is what I think, guys. This is my belief. I believe that Dave Weigel was sent out to smear Jimmy Dore, H.A. Goodman, and anyone else who talks, who discusses cases that may shine unfavorably on one, the DNC, two, the Clinton campaign, the Clintons, the Democratic Party, or the CIA. I believe that, and I think it's evidenced in the reporting that they do. The 17 hit pieces in 17 days that they did on Bernie Sanders. That was DNC. You cannot, that's not even trying to be neutral. That's not even, look, so I've already, the proof about the DNC, the Democratic Party connection, that's already there. That's there, man. That thing is there. You can't do 17 nothings in a row and tell me it's a coincidence. So how can you write 17 articles bashing the same candidate? We're talking about a major news organization. And then say, no, that's not true. We were being unbiased. We're not a leg of the Clinton propaganda machine. We don't work for the Clintons. We're not in bed with the Democratic Party. This is just us doing in-depth news work. Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. And I think people have, I don't know, commitment bias or something. Like they just want to be on this side of an issue. They want to be on, they already made their minds up. So confirmation bias, that's it. Confirmation bias. You must already love the Washington Post. So what I'm saying means nothing because you just are in that camp. But people change. Sometimes people go bad. A good news organization can become a bad news organization. Back to David Weigel. He's a horrible individual, not just because he doesn't source his information correctly, not just because he slandered H.A. Goodman, which I've already talked about, but because when journalists attack other journalists for having a different opinion or seeing a story a different way, I think that's horrible. We should not become the news because we report the news differently than you. That should not make you become the news. When Jimmy Dore does a video and he talks about Seth Rich or he talks about the DNC fraud lawsuit, which not many people do talk about. So you got to give him kudos for that. We have to defend him when bigger news organizations come after him to destroy his name and his brand. We have to defend him. My issues with the charlatan for what he did, I will never forget it. My issues with Jeff Woodward or Wilford or whatever his name is, who started all that, who did that 6 months ago, I won't forget it. My issues with Jack with the Bernie thing, I won't forget it. But that doesn't mean I'm going to sit by. That doesn't mean I'm going to sit by and let Jimmy get roasted and get smeared for speaking his truth. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to allow it. I want you not to allow it as well. I would hope that you would join me. Let me put it that way. I can't tell you what to do. I never try to tell you what to do. But I would hope that you are good people who see truth and justice in what we speak or what we're trying to do. Like Jimmy, he's not making a whole bunch of money by making videos. He speaks truth. He's passionate. He means what he says. So I support Jimmy Dore. And we all have to rally around, not just H.A. Goodman, not just me, not just Nico House, but rally around anyone where the media, when big people in the media try to go after the little guy just because we're reporting the news that the people really want to hear about. No one wants to hear about Russia and Trump and Russia. That's the big telltale. The Washington Post have repeatedly been running Russia, 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 Russia. That's how you know they're full of shit. You just have to look at that. But for the rest of us who want other news, who want to know what else is going on in the world besides Trump and Jared Kushner and Russia and Trump and Melania didn't squeeze his hand and they didn't walk close together. And like some of us are concerned with other issues. And we can't allow those people who have the guts, who have the courage, who are willing to talk about other issues that may be unflattering to the DNC, the Democratic Party, or the CIA, whether it be WikiLeaks, whether it be Julian Assange, whether it be Barrett Brown, right? Whether it be Chelsea, right? Like we need Kim.com, anybody, anyone. When we talk about these important issues, we can't let somebody just come in, right, and destroy our people. Wreck their name. Like the Washington Post smearing you is a big deal. People read that thing. For what? I don't know. For the same reason my mother used to get it, mainly because we had a fireplace. We ended up getting a fireplace. Well, we moved when we got one. We couldn't afford wood, so we just take that paper and start the fire. That's what we used it for. It's good kindling. So now I think hashtag Free Jimmy is the thing we need to promote. I want to promote that. I started using it already. Feel free to use that hashtag. Reach out to Jimmy. Hashtag free Jimmy Dore. Hashtag free Jimmy Dore. Because what we don't want is for someone like Jimmy Dore, one of the few people that still speaks the truth as best he can from his own vantage point, unfiltered for, I think for the most part, like 99% of the time, maybe all the way, okay? I don't know. But someone who speaks unfiltered, we got to stand behind that. We can't lose that. This is bigger than Jimmy Dore. You understand what I'm saying? Because if they shut down someone like Jimmy Dore, one of our favorites, if they shut down H.A. Goodman, one of our favorites, if they shut down me, somebody you kind of like too, then what about new people coming out? That's a horrible precedence. Get a little bit of, once you get a little bit of notoriety, once you get a little bit of airspace, once you get a little bit of awareness, here they come. Here come the David Pac-Man. Here come the David. He is a Mitch. Here come David Pac-Man. Here come these other people. We can't allow that to happen, guys. We got to stop it. We can't stop them from doing it, but we can stop the bleeding. We can go in and we can let them know we will not have it. So, hashtag free Jimmy Dore. That's the hashtag. Let Jimmy know you got his back. You support him. I support him. I support H.A. Goodman as well. I support all small independent media who speak truth. I don't even have to agree with you all the time. That's not a requirement for support. The only requirement is that your heart is in the right place and that I know that you mean well in what you do. Like, those are things that matter to me. What we disagree on, we can work it out. But your heart got to be in the right place. You got to keep it real with the world. If I know you're doing that, hey, man, we can talk about the rest.